Josh Allen had an interesting press conversation with Jerry Sullivan at public forum with the press, the whole bit, and Jerry makes a flat statement saying, "I don't think the offense is good enough to win the Super Bowl." To which Josh says, "Okay."
What are the
Pretty cool, right?
Well, yeah, but what, like, it's funny. Like, I mean, look,
I've never, first of all, heard a reporter just lay out a statement like that and expect an athlete to respond.
So that's what's so funny about it. I mean, look, Jerry Sullivan's had a week on his own, but I mean,
we can talk about that.
But that's the only response you can give because it wasn't a question. And like I saw it, and look, man, I'm not going to fault any reporter for making any statement in a press conference, right? Like that's what these are for. Like you're supposed to ask the question, but.
That's a question.
But what response did you expect? I think Josh handled it perfectly. Yeah. I think that he was trying to goad him a little bit, and the fact that Josh gave him no ammunition completely killed the story, whatever was trying to be established, the narrative pushed by Jerry Sullivan in this case.
Well, the funny part about that is the answer in and of itself. What answer would you like to give? Oh, I'm keeping receipts, or like all these are the different quotes that have come back to bite people in the end. They wish they hadn't said. Here's a line that he comes back and says, okay, I can see a shirt of that. From now on, when you're going to the Super Bowl,
yeah.
Okay. A lot of guys do that. It's like confrontational journalism. You'll do something like that, trying to elicit a response that's going to get national traction.
Yeah, but there was no question this wasn't one of those sort of bait thing. I don't know if you wanted to trend. I don't know what this was. This kind of gotcha moment as you're talking about. There was no question in there in a sense of where you're going to, do you feel this offense is ready now to go to a Super Bowl? That's a question, as opposed to just making a statement that you now have to respond to. But that's where we are in this sort of gotcha. I want to say what this is, make myself sort of the story as opposed to Josh Allen's story. Josh Allen's answer is perfect and leadership.
But here's the thing, man. I take Jerry Sullivan out of it. I don't mind goading journalism at a press conference as a card-carrying member of the International Loudmouths of America. Like that's fine. Like this is supposed to be entertaining. All of this is a child's game. Like I'm fine with emotion and anger and back and forth between a reporter. Like it doesn't hurt anybody. But to Tariq's point, he's right. Like Josh Allen is a seasoned leader professional to not take that bait, look him in the face, and then in just 2 letters, completely turn it back on the reporter and make him look like a complete idiot.
It's funny you say that. And a lot of it maybe is because it's Josh's appearance. I still think of him as a kid.
Yeah.
Well, he isn't because, again, in NFL years and the amount of years you get in a career in the NFL, to his point, he's a seasoned veteran now.
Yeah, but it goes to the training of what these guys will say and what's caught on video. This is after a game. This is an emotional moment. Guys are going through now. If you win, you lose, you might get a different answer. You might get a different answer from Josh. But in that moment, he handled it well. The other thing I find this to be interesting about Buffalo as we get ready to go to the end of the season. I will give Duffy his props. He was absolutely right. Don't worry about the Jets. Don't worry about New England. Don't worry about it. I get it all. All of those different things are going forward. If he will just admit he likes the Bills' running game.
Well, of course, I like the running game. Your argument was you need a running game.
You do.
You don't need a running game.
Yes, you do.
They just beat one of the best defenses in the NFL with Josh Allen as their leading rusher, and James Cook had 4 rushes for 6 yards.
Good luck with that in the playoffs.
What was your reaction? I signed Cole Beasley. I mean, did that amount to a blip on the radar?
I find it interesting just based on what Cole Beasley said after he had left the franchise. Like he was liking tweets that people, the franchise has been different. So there is a story, and I don't know how true this is. It was reported by a news station in Buffalo that it was Josh Allen that asked for both John Brown and Cole Beasley back as security blankets, and the front office went to the players and asked each one of them individually, would you be okay with Cole Beasley back in the room? And nobody said no. So you want to win?
I like that the organization isn't too proud that a guy that burned some bridges on his way out, they say, hey, look, for the better good, we'll still be willing to do this.
If Odell Beckham Jr. was healthy, I don't think this would be happening. So you're right. I mean, it does show a piece of humility. However, it's the absolute last case scenario because you went and signed John Brown first.
I was surprised. I mean, I get the Odell Beckham thing not to get him. I get all that. He kind of outpriced himself. But the Beasley thing, that was a lot of he probably went to Stephon Diggs as well and said, hey, do you mind this guy back in the locker room?